All right, you guys, good morning. It's so nice to see you. I woke up before my alarm for this meeting today. I talked to you about not many times in my career, even though I love my job, have I been jumping out of bed to do it, even after going to bed very late. And this morning I woke up before my alarm. Instead of trying to go back to bed, I sprang out so that I could actually plan some stuff for you, which is so not like me. And Janine will be joining us, and I want to be doing a lot of talking anyway, so she can watch this later. Is kind of what my model is too, where I can watch what you guys talked about later, and I love that. And the vision of watching our YouTube channel and learning from it. That's what I stayed up late last night, was watching you guys and me have our conversation yesterday about your valedictorian speech, Yusura. And like, there's so much value, and there was so much support, and your realness with not diving in right away is powerful for young women like you and all people. And so I wanted to start this with saying we need to be sponsored. Like this people are going to watch this right now. I think I'm the one view on that video, but this is going to get big. I'm absolutely confident this is going to get big. And so today I'm just going to practice what that would look like, and then we can share this with these companies and see if they do want to sponsor us. Sponsorship would be literally paying you to do this job so they get promotion. The first people that I don't think have deep pockets, but I want to shout out and I want to recognize and really maybe they can do scholarships or things like that is the Community College of Aurora. You guys both taking classes at the Community College of Aurora? Are you taking it there this summer, Yusura? No? Okay. Should be Community College of Aurora. Don't let Yusura slip through our fingers. And maybe we can take the entrepreneurship course. So that's what I've taught the last 2 years. I've run the entrepreneurship program at the Community College of Aurora, which is an amazing program where you launch your business from the college in a supportive environment. And we haven't scratched the surface of what we should do with that program yet. And that's what I'm leaving at 8 o'clock. I'm leaving to meet with an amazing woman named Jice Johnson, who is a serial entrepreneur. She owns the Black Business Initiative. She's got a website that says Grind with Jice. She's a coach. She's a speaker. She's unbelievable. And so far, this program's been run by two white men, me and Neil Pollard, who's a wonderful man, but not representing the students in the way we need to at CCA. So I'm incredibly excited to talk to Jice. I want to tell her about our vision here. I want to record our conversation with her and get her feedback on what she thinks the program should look like. And she's the type of person we want to be aligned with at Mama Bird and have speak to you guys about business and launching it. She'll have definitely different strengths than I have, different viewpoints than I have. So I'm incredibly excited to speak to her. And because of that time pressure, then it's going to give you guys time to meet after me so you can get your talking in there. I'm balancing with this is kind of my time to mold you as much as possible and then let you go. Mama Bird, let you fly. And not just let you fly, they push out of the nest, right? And that's what we're doing with you, sir, with your valedictorian speech. And guess what? You're going to fly and you're going to be great. So Community College of Aurora, go Foxes. We're the Foxes, amazing school. The other people I would love to sponsor us is Zoom. All these meetings have been on Zoom. Zoom has deep pockets. Zoom has done really well since the pandemic. And so this is a way they can give back to the world by supporting young women like you. It would not be possible without Zoom. This program, what we're doing and interviewing people, we're currently doing it on Zoom. There's other platforms, but they've been who we've been using. So Zoom, we're going to reach out to you and let's find a way to pay these young women and the business and have it grow to help more young women. If not, we'll find someone who will, because there will be people who want to support us. Other thing I want to talk about, which is kind of a random one, is Cameo. Cameo is a cool company where literally you pay celebrities to give you text messages, video text messages, and it can be encouragement, it can be funny stuff, and it's awesome. I just used it for our current graduates at my current high school, Northeast Early College in Montbello, and had Luis Cornell, who my students just loved, give them a shout out, and that was cool. I paid for one. This guy named whose character's name was Jay from the In-Betweeners, for my brother, and he just loved it. And I was thinking about how we can get publicity, how we can get supportive, and it crossed my mind that the person you need to talk to, Yusura, for your motivation, and also to talk about racism and how to deal with it, to talk about realistically sudden fame and how to deal with it, is a guy named Jerry from a Netflix show named Cheer. Have either of you watched a Netflix show named Cheer? No, because you have no time and you're always moving your damn life forward. And you're wonderful people. So when you do this right and you finally get a moment in your life to relax and enjoy yourself, you need to watch Cheer. It's from the same people who produced a show called Last Chance U, which is an amazing show. And it's about a cheerleading team. And Jerry is one member of this team, and literally the most upbeat, most wonderful human being, like gentle soul on earth. He's this huge guy, African American man, very effeminate in a lot of ways, and so strong in other ways, and represents everything that Mama Bird needs to be and wants to be. And so, Jerry, when you're watching this, we want to interview you, and I want specifically Yasura to interview you. And I don't want a rah like cheer thing and accept at the right times, but I want you to talk to her and coach her, lift up her confidence. I want you to tell her about your truth and your story. It'll help her interviewing skills. And just I told my students this year, if you literally had a person like Jerry in your life bringing you up all the time, it just would be, the earth would be a way better place. And so, Jerry, we want you, and Cameo, thank you for your service. And I see you guys literally, when this goes well, yes, sir, people will pay you to send them messages. Jerry gets paid $150 is what we'll invest to. Literally, our goal will be to say, Jerry, watch this YouTube video and say something nice to Yasura. And with that, he's sitting at home for 1 minute making $150. Boom, 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 and making people's lives wonderful. And again, money's going to give you options. That would be your own business, right? You would be representing yourself, or you would probably have representation at that point, and you'd be making money that would change your family's life. So Cameo, I want you to sponsor us. I think you have a great service, and I want to get these young women on Cameo so that they can lift up others and get paid for that for people who can afford it. And then that will help them do more work for people who can't afford it. So those are kind of the different people that I think should sponsor us. Apple, Tim Cook, that's a big one. My earpods aren't working, but they do work most of the time, and they're wonderful when they do. My Mac, I need help on updating with Zoom, but that's something too that I love Apple products, and that's a big idea, right? If Apple would be part of us in some way, I want you guys to have laptops. I want you guys to have laptops that are good, so your camera picture's quality, so they run well, and you deserve them, and imagine what you'll do with them. So Apple, we need laptops. The other way that I think we can do this, and for me personally, I want to be more vulnerable with you guys, because you guys do that for me, and I expect that of you. And I have been very confident about this from the start. And again, that's privilege. That's me being a confident person, never being knocked down from that or having to deal with that. But still, every entrepreneurial journey, every journey in general, there's ups and downs, and I have peaks and valleys and doubts and excitement. And I definitely push towards excitement. But yesterday I was feeling a little doubt, talking to my wife about paying and bringing on interns and the investment that's going to be for us, for me, for our family. I'm so privileged that I don't even know how much money I've poured into this business so far. I'm believing it will be, with these interns over summer, in the amount of $10,000 or so, which is a lot of money for us, but not enough money where I literally know how much it is. And I've got money in my other business that we can use for this too. But my wife, it comes from a different standpoint as far as money is concerned. She grew up in Poland, which I think affects how it is. She grew up a woman, which I think also affects, again, this confidence that you may have. And so she, not that she's not supportive, she's just questioning it. Why do you need to do this big, this early? Why do you need to spend this much money? Can someone else spend this money for you? And I told her, like, believe in me. This is something that I'm going to do. I haven't scratched the surface of my potential, and I'm expecting that of these young women. And not just my potential. My potential is launching you guys to your potential, which changes the world, and changes the world for our kids, changes the world for you and your kids. It's that big of a picture. And after she kind of is like you guys, I think, in a lot of ways, definitely you, sir, when you hear something, and to me, I've already done all the processing in my head, and it makes perfect sense. For you hearing it the first time, you're processing it. There's downs, there's ups, there's a lack of confidence, which is real. And then she gets there kind of quickly. All right. So then, like, today you're on a different level, and you'll be on a different level again tomorrow. And that's kind of how she changed yesterday. I did a very poor job of communicating what we were doing initially. Good morning, Janine. Welcome, and welcome to my monologue. We're just talking about ups and downs, and my wife's reaction to the news that I wanted to spend thousands of dollars, $7,000 paying interns to be with us over the summer. And she's come around to the idea, and she's still not like overjoyed about it, but she's supporting me and sees that. And part of that to me too was, again, the importance of sales and selling something that you believe in. I offered to sell my Miata, which is like my, third child, which I just love. But I'm willing to do that for you guys and this. And that to me is something that I've never felt before. I think we could get a loan for this, but I don't want to get a loan. I want to do this with my own money. and then make money for all of us. I want to do this in a way that um, that values what I say people should value. I want businesses to hire people like you, young women like you that come from underprivileged backgrounds, and I want those young women to fly and thrive. And I believe in that enough to pour my own money in it, and even more importantly, my heart and soul into it. And now that you're here, Jeannie, I can really get into my speech here. So I wrote down notes. Again, this is kind of the first time I've done this. And I just want to let you guys know that so far in my work career, the absolute best work that I've ever done was on the NCAS News with you guys. And being in that environment was a time in my career where I sprung out of bed and was so excited to get to work and felt we were making an impact just on our small community at the school. But working with just such amazing young people like yourself, seeing what you can do when you're given freedom, when you're given not deadlines, but I guess deadlines, but given so much work that you need to keep moving forward, that it can't be perfect, that you have to push forward, and how you learn from that is exactly what we're replicating here. And that was literally the time of my life. And I just want to share with you guys that I love and care about you guys so much. I often think that I should cry. I should cry more, and I don't cry. And I want to be more vulnerable with you guys. And I want to tell you just how much you mean to me and how much this means to me and can mean to me. I love, and that's not just for you, that's all of the students I've had. I care about you guys so much, but I haven't made a big enough impact on your life yet. And the neat thing to me is I have the best students in the world, and I could reach out to every single teacher in a similar situation, in any situation, and they would fight me for saying they have the best students in the world, right? Because that's the kind of love that teachers have for students. I want young women like you to become teachers. If that's what your path should be, or in some way teach and mentor. I want public schools to be provided money funding and make that more of a priority, that there can be a pipeline of people of color to become teachers, especially representing their own students. And this can lead to that too. This can lead to everything for me. So I'm going to read it here. So I'm literally watching the world burning, but not my world, your world. Janine, you were at a protest last night. I'm watching the world burn around me in my little protective bubble in this huge ass house I have with all my privilege, and your world is on fire. And watching that, I really been too scared to speak up about change in a more political way, and that really needs to stop here. Is so much of what this creates is then you guys getting in powerful positions, you guys encouraging people to vote, you guys encouraging real change, and that's why we need to make this work right now. And so I want to give you that platform, and I've got a lot of ideas today about how we're going to make that happen. I'm so proud of you three specifically, this incredible journey we've been on a month. I watched this video of us yesterday with me springing the idea that Yusura needs to be famous and change the world on her, and watching how she responded to that, not with enthusiasm, which was like my main take, but then again, you guys have taught me so much, watching you build each other up, watching her just change during that that speech, and you're hearing you guys speak, listening to your writing, Yusura, that you shared with us all. Oh my gosh, Janine, when you have your child in this, how powerful that is visually, and how adorable your child is. You make good-looking babies. I do too. I'll share my babies with you sometime. It's more my wife than me. But that you guys have grown so much, and you guys have been vulnerable with me, and you've poured your whole heart into it. And that's the only way this is going to work, is if we all do this. And I wake up every day, and we sent a text after our meeting yesterday and said, oh my gosh, this is like, my whole day is a highlight. Like, I live in such privilege and have wonderful children, my wife, that my every day is good. I just told my in-laws the other day, like, every day is good for me. But this is one of the highlights of my day. And this is absolutely the highlight of my professional career is right now. And this is also the start of my life's work. Like, this feels like I've been doing a lot to this point with teaching, but I'm here to do this and be able to teach more and impact more people. And we're going to bring more people on our team. They're going to respond in even better ways. We're going to get people to sponsor us. This is going to happen. It's going to come, and you guys are going to make it happen. And eventually, I'm not going to be here to be dominating the conversation. So I kind of want to get out all my truths to this point before I make you guys run and fly your own. And so one of the things that I really want for you is the American dream. And that's literally what we're talking about is, I talk about getting political. I hate that people who care about other people in the way that we do and feel that there's racism in this world and that Black Lives Matter are considered un-American. I hate that Colin Kaepernick, who kneeled peacefully time after time after time after time, was called un-American, unpatriotic. And it's such bullshit, right? You can love this country like I do, and at the same time want it to be as best it can and want it to be in your hands, because America's built on diversity. And that's recognizing, Janine, you and your family and your heritage, and America's really built on taking land from other people. And so that needs to be worth it. And that can be worth it right now with empowering the people that's land was taken, empowering the people whose backs were built, this country was built on and were enslaved, and just making real change. And you can be patriotic and question our government. You should be. You can be patriotic and question our military. You should. You can be patriotic and it is patriotic to do all those things. We need to be able to question. We need intelligent conversation. And it's gotten so crazy. And the way to do it is with you and teachers like me, right? If teachers connect with, when you're watching this, teacher, connect with your students and get them to vote. That's what we need in this world. Have their voice be heard. And we've got so many students that can't vote because of our systems in place, and they weren't born with privilege in this country, and so they can't vote. So vote for them. And we need to all do that. And not just the American dream. What I want to call this is, I don't know if this phrase is out there, and great if it is, it's kind of the green American dream. Is I want you to push that the step forward. The American dream was like getting uber rich in my mind. And success was always quantified by money and qualified by money. And with the green American dream, first of all, we would put climate change as a goddamn priority. Climate change needs to be a priority. I don't live those values, and that's something that I need to. We need help and support to live those values. I want Janine, your adorable daughter, to have a world and have clean water to drink. And how the fuck is that not patriotic? That we would want our children to have clean water and have companies not dumping toxins into the water. How can we not err on the side of caution with our environment, in the way that if we're wrong and we did too much to save the environment, damn it, what a problem to have. But if we're not wrong, which we aren't, because literally every scientist on earth says we're killing ourselves, and there's going to be extreme weather in the next couple of years, and that affects people in poverty and who don't have positions of power, so they don't change those things. That against patriotic. So this green American dream is your vision, is my vision of that you don't get uber wealthy. We can be wealthy and live our best lives. That's what I want. But I want it not just for me, I want it for everyone. And getting people in charge who have that type of mindset is going to change the world. And I want to listen to people like Janine. Before you're here, you started talking to this amazing young man from a show on Netflix called Cheer, Jerry, who's the most upbeat person in the world. And we need to talk to Jerry and have him talk to all of us. And how do you block out the noise? In other words, there's people that are going to be hardcore disagree with what I'm saying. There's people I love that are going to be hardcore disagreeing with what I'm saying. But that can't stop us. And there's more people who do agree with what we're saying.
I think self-care, yesterday, this week, past month, past year, honestly, since forever, I've been, I don't know, I think just tension is high these days, with the rebellions. That's what we need to call it, the rebellions, because when people aren't happy with what the current situations anymore, we rebel, and that's patriotic, like you said. So I've been trying to talk to my family, because I noticed that within my own family, there's a lot of, hey ma'am, I'm talking. There's a lot of internalized racism, and trying to talk to them and get them to understand, no, y'all are on the wrong side of this fight, be on the right side for your children's sake, for our friends' sake. I mean, my family is mixed. We have indigenous, we have black, we have Mexican, and it seems like the lighter skinned people in my family, they don't care, and it hurts so deeply. My cousin, his name's Lily, he goes by Jax, though. He's a rapper. You guys should go check out his music on iCloud, or not iCloud, whatever the sound bar. I don't know, but I'll send you a link. He's been really affected by this. He's a young Black man, and it breaks my heart because I see the other side of my family just not giving a shit and laughing about our cause, laughing about Black Lives Matter movement, and it hurts. And at some point, I'm like, when is enough for me and my cousin to like rein it in and just kind of like take a break, take a deep breath, because it's draining. It is. And I feel for people who have to deal with this every day, because I do have privilege. I do, like, that's why I was out there yesterday, because of my privilege. It's us lighter skinned people who should be out there fighting, so that my cousin doesn't need to be out there, because he's dealing with so much anger and resentment. But anyways, self-care, I would think. Ignore you haters. The right people will hear us and make change happen. So.
And that's going to happen from you. And that was an amazing speech, an empowering speech. And people will watch that. And people will watch what we did yesterday. And people will watch your talk about the vision for this company and how it empowers women. And the young women that join forces with us will grow and then share this message just as powerfully as you did. And that's just something that I can't put a price on for me, how much this is in such a short time made me advance. And that's because of you guys. And we've talked about the accountability. As we build this, we'll have this different accountability and working in teams, and how much better we are because of that. One more thing I wanted to say about all this is, Yusura, with you specifically, I think in many different ways, you were great in my film class. You were a star academic student. I always felt really close to you, which is interesting for me because I had more conversations with a lot of students. I had better, literally, like, rapport with a lot of students. I like to joke around and be really sarcastic, which I haven't shared that side with you guys at all, because this is too fucking serious to do that at this moment. But I wanted to tell you that I feel connected to you in such a big way. And one of the things that was very difficult about me leaving Knoll Community Arts School for the Community College of Aurora was that I had to leave you, and I wanted to be there when you graduated. And so this for me is just like, it's giving me that chance to work with you again. And even bigger than that, it's giving me a chance to help change your life and your family's life. And like, I can't do that. And I think there's so many things. I see your potential, but I also want to kind of protect you from this world. And I realize now that you're strong enough where you don't need protection from this world, right? You're a grown woman now. And it's something where you can change this world and have what you want. And there's going to be people who are going to be haters, but there's going to be so many more people that are lovers. And that's something that I wanted to have Jerry talk to you about too, is like, I'm sure he's received racist mail. I'm sure he's received homophobic mail. But oh my gosh, the amount of love that this guy must have when he is in the world must be just phenomenal. And one thing I think also that can happen is, and the reason, like, literally, why I feel like you guys can talk to celebrities, and when we have them on, you'll be interviewing them and not impressed by them, or not that you're not impressed, but not like overwhelmed by them, or like feeling like you need to not be on their same level. Is I think we can create a culture like that, where even if you literally are famous, if this speech goes viral, that you'll be able to walk in a world where people will respect you. You'll be able to communicate with them on this. They will respect you in your space and honor you by not bothering you, honor you by giving you time and to adjust, honor you in so many different ways. And I think all that is doable with this. So I just wanted to give you that, because I also wanted to make sure, again, even more how supported you are with this and how important all that is for us. And saying that, again, I need to leave in 13 minutes here, and I want you to really be able to give this speech that will change the world. You talked about working on it today, which is amazing. I think you need to give it by next Friday. So that's going to accelerate everything. And again, your version of good is going to be good enough, and it's not even just good enough, it's going to be great. And your version of done with this team around you is going to be phenomenal. And what I realized when I was thinking about it was we've got such a great buildup to this, meaning that if we can get people to watch this now, talking about your valedictorian speech and start building an audience where they're actually watching it in real time, that's amazing. I've wanted to and have many ideas in my life. One of them was to do a documentary on somebody who, like before fame and after fame, and see how that changed them. And I think that's going to happen for us. And I think that that's going to be something where we are documenting it now. We're documenting it simply. We're documenting it purely. We are documenting because we want to be here and do this for others. And that's going to be a testament to this process, and something that is going to be worth the trouble, going to be worth the fight, worth everything. And so I want you guys to, when I'm leave this meeting and talk to this amazing woman, for us again, that we need to share that conversation with us and with our younger, wonderful young women. I want you guys to work on Yusura's speech, how that can look, what that should mean. I was watching your videos, Yusura, and I want to get good at sharing stuff during this too, because I think that can be a way where even during our interviews, where we put in pictures, and we're doing that, so you're not editing it post, you're actually editing it in the program and the platform, so you don't have extra time. So it's in real time. You send me 10 pictures before, and I can put them in there. And I would love to get to the point where we're doing that with these meetings too, with like video. And one of the other things I didn't talk about sponsoring at the start was I want a high-speed internet company to sponsor us, and I want us to all have high-speed internet. And then our picture is going to be better. Once you have a computer, high-speed internet. And then the other thing too, Janine, because I was also watched your video with Veronica, which is just over the moon amazing, is they need high-speed internet too. So that's something that you talk about getting customers. If we have someone sponsor them getting high-speed internet for a period of time, or I would love it to be forever, which I think to the actual company would not be a big cost and would bring them, the amount of people we're going to interview is going to be so minor compared to their total thing for people upgrading their internet and seeing the progress from this video to what it's going to look like when it's good. We go through Comcast sponsor us, and have it be people will open up and people will share. And then not only that, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about too, and you should talk about after, so talk about Yusura's valedictorian speech, and then also talk about Janine, how we can get Veronica to be willing to share, not her whole story, but parts of the story. I took apart, I edited certain things out, and I want to share that with you guys so you have access to that. But things like the way she lights up when she talks about her husband and how they met and what this guy's impact is in her life. She just glows. And like, we could share that with her and share that with the world and the lessons that they learn. And she one time talks about going to therapy again for a good reason, Janine, like you did yesterday, about how that can help, and the advice that you actually received from her in your interview and literally in real time are learning these things. And then how amazing you are and taking that in. And even you did such an amazing job. I kind of told you, just ask a question and like, shut up, basically was my vision. You've changed that vision to you having more input. And you've got your, you hear your baby in the background at some point, and the power in that. You just look so professional and beautiful and powerful when you're interviewing her. And that just made me like want to cry too. Like, just, it's so good, and it needs to be shared. And that her message for people, because she has stage 4 cancer, can change their world. And so how do we make people, amazing people like her, comfortable? And the answer is you, Janine, you talking to her, you making her feel comfortable, us giving her value, interviewing her parents. I would love to find a way to pay her, right? Her family must be struggling with a lot of things right now. Money must be a part of it. So can we work on GoFundMe's? Can we do other things? And then even bigger than that, can we change our medical system again with this green American dream where you're promised, it's not your job that's going to pay for your healthcare. You are promised healthcare in this country. How is that not a fucking right in this country, the richest country in the world? Used to be the richest country in the world before we screwed that up. How is that not a right? So with that, people like her can share their stories. I want to reach out to my uncle, who is privileged and amazing, and also kind of is beating cancer currently, which is amazing. And he's connected to Johns Hopkins, which is, one of the best medical institutions on earth. He's been flown to Germany for radical cancer treatment that we don't do in America. Why don't we do it in America? Probably because we stopped believing in science. And young women, we need you to be scientists, like pour into that, save us, help create things that help us be healthier. Young women also be healthy in our diet. We need to encourage that. So all these things tie together. But my bottom line was we need to get her to share her message, and then people we interview that have powerful messages, we can support them in whatever ways we can. but we want to share a part of their story, not their whole story. We want them to have the freedom to choose which parts it is. We would share the parts that we recommend and then have them share it with it and do it all right. So I want you to formulate a plan. I'll send you guys, we'll just know that it's pieces that aren't too personal by any means, pieces that will encourage other people, pieces that are just chunked with hardcore life values and importance that will show you that tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. And there's not any place more in the world I would rather be than with you guys right now, and with my family safe in this house. And knowing that tomorrow is not promised, I want to push forward as much as possible. So all this relates to you too, Yasura, as this is why we need to do this now, and why we need to grow the team quickly, and why we need to change these lives, is it's that big of a deal. And so that's another thing I want. Another thing that I think we have the benefit of doing is highlighting pieces from the news. So right now, Yasura, you're sharing videos from our school news program, which we did such amazing work on for a small school. Knoll Community Arts School in Montbello is maybe at its peak, like 500 people in the high school, probably 400. Small. Middle school, probably 250, 300, a very small school. But we did this news program for 3 or 4 years that was powerful and important for the school. But I still don't think people watch it the way they would, because in class, you're pulled by so many other things, right? And I think that this virtual learning in so many ways can keep kids focused, actually, and have them be independently learning. I think that our old students will watch these things, and new students will learn from it. And what I would want to highlight on that is amazing people like Lexi singing, for example, who just graduated from the class of 2020. And we've got this footage of her singing the song. That'd be something I'd share with you if I had more time now. And I don't know what song it is. It's some beautiful pop song. And she sings it better than the singer. And she needs to have that option if she wants to sing, because she's that amazing. And then this video is our students are what would be considered so often terrible audience members, meaning that if you're in a white, pompous, environment, but they are just shouting out in support of her in the middle of her song. And when you're on stage, that's what you want. And that's amazing. And I always think that now when I go to white events and white, whatever it would be, like music events, and everybody's not yelling and not like cheering people on, I'm like, man, this is not the way to do it. The way to do it is encouraging and supporting. And you hear there's people laughing and giggling because they're having a good time in the background. They're not all just, sitting there so you can hear a pin drop. And then you hear her friends just yelling out in support for her. And that could be something that we can share. Beautiful music. We've got so many musicians in our neighborhood, in our schools, that we can intersplice in our YouTube channel, share them, bring them up, build their businesses. All that can be something we can also add value to. And so then the last thing that I want to do is marketing activities. I think with what we have right now, we can start pushing this out to news agencies and say, like, share our story. And I don't even think we need to be interviewed for them. Realistically, I want them to use the footage we have here. Like, share this. If you find what you like, to make an amazing story out of this, because there's so much content already that we put now 2 YouTube videos on YouTube, and this will be the 3rd. And so with that, like, share the story so that we can build up to it. The other thing we need to share, Proctor, is your senior video. The class of 2020 is amazing. I don't know if you've worked on even modifying it, but even as it is, like, that's amazing. And showing people that aren't able to graduate, 2 of the students from Knoll Community Arts School from Montbello, and they even like the way you phrase Montbello High School and the pride that comes with the community name is powerful, and you're a talent. And so sharing that with the world is something that people will watch and should watch. And so all these things are like content that we can give to people to better their lives, and that's entertaining. And I think watching the encouraging nature of what we're doing here is going to be entertaining for people and educational. And so that's really what I want you guys to work on as I leave here is Yasura's speech. And I've got a couple ideas I want to give you for that. I wanted to paste them here, but I can't. So for your speech, I think you should include something about how you're thinking before and how this experience has changed your life. I think that you should find some way to include Mama Bird Media in your life so that we get publicity, and people will be watching it on our YouTube channel realistically. So that may be publicity, but just to, again, drive home the point, like, you've got this. And I thought about that when I watched our YouTube video, and I say, Eminem, you only get one shot. Do not miss the chance to blow. Like, this is it. Like, this is our chance. And if it doesn't work, that's not actually true. I think we'll make it some way, but like, this is the one that's going to work, and we're going to move on from there. And so with that, I just think you're sharing yourself, and you guys collectively can come up with such powerful messaging. And you said yesterday or whenever it was that you really are better in confined spaces. Like, one thing that was intimidating you about this speech was that you didn't have specific directions and there wasn't like a prompt, and that's how you work best, which eventually I think you'll get to the point where that won't be a problem for you at all. But if it pushes you towards reaching out to others in this amazing group that we have here and makes you even better based on that, then that is going to make you better. And so that you're open to that is really powerful. And you don't just say, it's me, 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 I want to do this, I want to get all the credit for this. That you're open to feedback is there is, again, enough love and joy and credit for all of us. And so I want you to really look at it that way. So Yusura's speech, and then I forgot my train of thought about what else I wanted you to work on specifically. Focus on Yusura's speech, and then you'll come up with something else after that. I think there was something else that I said, but I've lost my train of thought and been ranting for a long time.
You said how to get publicity.
Okay. So how to get publicity. I have several local media contact numbers. That's another thing. We made one video in high school, middle school even, which is Zuzu singing. And Zuzu just graduated, right? So honoring her, showing her vocal ability. She's wearing this awesome, beautiful, like cosmic hijab in it. And then it shows students from our school being interviewed and talking about things that they find beautiful. Or hers is Hallelujah. Yeah, I think it is. Hallelujah is a song, and I get to sing on it too, so that's exciting for me because I've never sang for the world. But there is a news reporter in this that's talking about the beauty of people coming together and protesting is part of it, and like we need to reach out to that guy because that is so important right now. That the video was taken, I think, at the point of Michael Brown, which is how many years ago, that hasn't changed since then. So with this, we share it with him, he shares it, and then one of the most amazing things at the end of this, one of the students, I think his name is Isaac, says, what I love about, what I think is beautiful is humanity and the way we bring people up. And they say that, and this is an 8th grader, I think at the time, 7th or 8th grader saying this, that they say, I can't do it. And I say, no, I'm going to drag you up, and by my will, you're going to be able to do it. And that's what we have for each other. And that's symbolic for what we're doing with you, Yusura, right now, is we're going to put you there, and then you're going to bring other people up with you and bring it up, trickle up. The Green American deal is trickle up. Give money to the people that will use it and change the world with it and won't be greedy with it. That's my thing. Okay, I've got to go. That's my speech. I need one of you to take back ownership of recording this. I may pop in depending on my meeting later, but please take it from here. Love you guys. I care for you. I'm so proud of you and what we've done so far while it's been silent and not seen by the world, but it's time to be seen by the world. We're ready, and we're going to do good things with it, and it's going to be amazing. Okay, I'm off.